So centering self this week, it won't be too deep and too weird, hopefully. And this morning we're talking about looking inwards, not really deeply, but I want everybody, we're doing a lot of forward folding. So try and focus as we forward fold on that center point inside you. That's really where we're going for. So we're starting off with Nadi Shodhanam this morning. We use our Vishnu Mudra, our 2 fingers up against our third eye, if it's comfortable and you feel comfortable with that. Otherwise, bend your fingers in. But if you're comfortable, pop your fingers on the spot. Find that eye spot, first of all, between your eyebrows on your forehead. And then it's ring finger for left nostril, thumb for right nostril. In through both this morning, both nostrils. Exhale through the right on the first exhale and then through the left. And we continue with that cycle. So in both, out left, out right, sorry, and then out left. And we'll do about 10 rounds. So when you're ready, in your own time, to a count of 4, first of all, find your posture, make that nice long channel for your breath to come in through. Take a couple of breaths just without too much control, just to settle. Soften your shoulders a little bit away from your ears. If you want to take a mudra on your other hand, pop your index and thumb together and turn your palm upwards. Just helps with concentration and connection to where you are. And then when you're ready, if you haven't already begun while I'm chatting, inhale through both for 4. Close off the left and exhale through your right. Inhale through both. Close off the right with your thumb and exhale through the left. Inhale through both. Exhale through right. Inhale through both. And exhale left. Continue with that round for another 4 or 5 or 6 breaths at your own time into your own count of 4. And now don't worry about the length, just take your time. Make sure both breaths are even. Inhale, exhale. Try and make them nice and smooth, no gasping, no huge pauses in between, just smoothly transitioning from one to the other. And if you lose which nostril it is that you're exhaling through, just continue with whatever you think it should be. So our fingers on our foreheads here at our third eye are focusing on a point where this is where your intuition lives in yoga. Our third eye is where our sixth sense or intuition, whatever you like to call that extra part of you lives, that just knows things when you didn't think you did. Senses things when you didn't think you could. And that is that voice of self, possibly, if you want to call it that. So any other thoughts we have in that space just behind the third eye, yes, they are useful, and yes, they are what gets us through our daily life, but often they're what we call in yoga chattering monkeys. Sometimes our thoughts just carry on without any control to them, and we need to learn to ignore them and try and find that other little voice of self, which is in a quiet corner somewhere, doesn't shout and dance. That voice of reason, clarity, honesty, truth. So it's about connecting through yoga to that self voice by drawing inwards. And here we're going to do it through some forward folds in our practice. So when you come to the end of your next exhale, let go of control of the breath. Take your hand away from your face and your fingers away from that third eye. Just keep your eyes closed and try and focus on that spot that your fingers were on your forehead. See what you see there or what you feel there. Is there any sensation? It might be of light, an actual light shining. It might just feel a little bit lighter. It might be energy that you feel there, or a calm point. See if you can connect just to that spot that your fingers were on. There should be some resonance from the attachment to your fingers. And then flutter your eyes open, and you might want to uncross, recross legs at this point, see how you feel. I'm going to take a few opening exercises here. So first of all, think posture. So watch we haven't rolled back, draw the tummy in, lift out of the pelvis, find your sit bones, ground them, find that rebound. Lift up through the crown, lift the heart forward, take the shoulders down your back, away from your ears. And we're going to come into cat-cow. So let's take our fingers together and then turn our palms away from us. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, find that rebound. Exhale, push the palms gently away and start to tip your chin. And we're rolling down through, just through the cervical spine, your neck, and through the upper back. Not too far, just a little bit of a forward fold through the upper back here. And then we're going to raise up by taking our hands up in front of us. Inhale, lifting up, opening up into a nice cow-shaped back. So we're drawing the heart up here. We're still finding length. We're not sticking tummies out. And then we're coming back into cat. So rolling forward again, tipping gently. Draw the tummy in to support the lower back. Gives you a little bit more space as well. Lift out as well as rolling forward. And then inhale, pushing through the palms of the hands to lift you up. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, moving the elbows out of your vision. And then gently, another cat. Inhale, exhale, sorry, draw the tummy in, lift out of the pelvis, moving forward as well as downwards, looking down and inwards. Inhale, push through the palms, push through the sit bones, find some rebound to lift up. Take your elbows back, lift your heart, tuck your chin, long back and exhale, and then release the hands and open up the shoulders. Whoa, that was one first thing. Okay, so take the hands out to shoulder height, flex the arms so the palms push to either wall, and just bend the elbows and then straighten gently. Softly push as if you've got something either side of your palms and you're opening out. Feel that stretch through your collarbones. Feel that space between your shoulder blades open. Make sure your shoulders haven't gone up, so drop them down. And then cross the arms in front of you and give yourself a hug. Find the backs of your shoulders with your hands as far as you can. Walk your fingers round a little bit further if you can. And then gently inhale and lift the elbows slightly. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift. Keep that tummy engaged, watch you're not rolling backwards. Third one, and then we're going to release, open up the arms. Keep the palms forward this time and take the hands behind you. Big stretch with your heart forward. Come back to starting point, flex the hands again, and then we're going the other way. So see if you can remember which way you hugged the last time. Okay, so stretch out first of all through the palms towards each wall, open out, and then other side. I think I've gone the same way. It's the one that feels wrong, probably. And then walk your fingers slowly to see if you can catch the back of your shoulder blades. And then 3 elbow lifts again. So we're inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, releasing. Make it really slow. It's quite contained this. We're actually, it feels a little bit claustrophobic possibly because your arms are coming in front of your face. Watch you not tipping your chin up to accommodate them. Try and keep your chin engaged, long back and neck. Once you've done the third one, big opening. Stretch out through the palms, reach out through the fingertips. Allow the shoulders and arms to come down for a moment. Just have a little bit of a roll through both ways. Notice the tension if you've built any there. Okay, so then I'm going to recross my legs. Not here for too long, but it does get a bit tight otherwise. Find that posture again, everybody. Take your hands behind you, clasp your hands behind you this time. So same grip that we had in front. And then reach the knuckles of the hands away from you to the wall behind you. So you're squeezing your biceps together, squeezing that spot between your shoulder blades. A little bit of a heart lift comes in here. Draw the tummy in. And then we're going to fold forward from our hip hinges. So moving forward over those hip hinges, long front body until you get to the point of balance. Don't force, wherever you're comfortable. And then tuck your chin and roll softly forward into a bit of a cat back now, lifting up through the back of your body. And see if you can lift your arms up a little bit higher behind you as you do so. Feeling your palms coming at you. The backs of your hands are moving up towards the ceiling. Don't force, take it slowly, find where you're comfortable. So now we're going to move back up by pushing through the backs of our hands, using them to move out and lift us slowly from the base of your spine upwards, rolling back up. And release. And we're going to do that the other way with the other grip. So remember how you've gripped now. Have a bit of a wiggle through your fingers, bit of a roll through your shoulders if you need. None of these are forcing. All of these can be as soft and as high up the back as you feel comfortable. So don't force yourself over, but do fold first of all from here, our hip hinges. Okay, so find your other grip now, the one that feels weird. Okay, same thing. So reach back with the backs of your hands towards the wall behind you. Draw your heart forward as your shoulder blades come together behind you and slide down your back. Tuck the chin, fold forward on your hip hinges very gently. Draw the tummy in to support the lower back. Tuck the chin again, and we're rolling up into cat back, and the nose is rolling down to look down towards your tummy. And then we're lifting up at the same time if you can, with the arms straight out behind you. Feel that opening across your front collarbones, across the back of your neck. Keep your chin tucked and your tummy in to support your spine. And then reach away with the back of the hands to lift you back up. Roll up from the bottom of the spine, up the way. Restack, release. Open, have a bit of a roll again, maybe even bring the elbows in this time. Uncross, recross the legs if you need to. So we're going to take that forward fold, but with a long front body, long back body, just forward over our crossed legs. All of these are as much or as little as you want to fold at the moment. It's early in the morning, you're not completely warmed up yet, so do listen to your body here. But do remember we're folding from here, not from here, okay? So inhale, lengthen through your posture, up through the crown, down through the sit bones. Exhale, forward fold, long front body. Draw the tummy in to support the lower back. Pop the hands in front of you to support you and give you a little bit of extra support there. Still long front body, we're still reaching through the crown and reaching backwards down into our sit bones. Feel that space as you move away from your pelvis with your ribs, that space at your waist. And then tuck your chin and allow yourself to soften and fold very slowly. Use your hands to support you. Try and sit back onto your sit bones, not reaching forward with them. Lifting up through a cat back, lift your heart back out the back of your body, draw your tummy in, give yourself some more space, round down as much as you can, make yourself as small as you can, and breathe. So we're going to stay here for 3 breaths now. Your time, inhale, exhale to your count. Find the back of your body, lift your heart on inhale. And exhale, see if you can just soften a little bit more to look inwards. Have your eyes closed, see how comfortable that makes you feel. If it doesn't, open your eyes. After the third breath, we're going to push gently into the hands and find a bit of rebound there. Take the sit bones back down towards what you're sitting on and start to stack up slowly, one by one, vertebrae on top of each other, rolling back up, keeping the chin engaged. Till we come back up to the top. Take the hands behind you now, point the fingers backwards, draw your elbows close in towards your body, lift your heart, a little bit of a back bend as a counter pose here. Breathe in, push down through the sit bones, draw the tummy in, open up into that cow back again. So keep the chin engaged because your head gets a bit heavy here, so don't throw your head back. Lift up. 3 breaths here. Really reaching out of your pelvis. And then sink back down into the sit bones and start to stack forward again. Okay, so we're going to take a side bend like that. So we'll just be twisting to one side, folding forward straight, and then curling down, same thing. Okay, so we're going to go left first of all. So inhale first, length. We need to do length before we twist, remember, or move the spine. Exhale, move over to look nose over your left leg. And then we're going to forward fold, thinking of that left hip hinge and long front body, moving the heart as if you're trying to reach over the front of your knee at first, reaching through the crown, tucking the chin, long back of neck. Use your hands on the floor either side of your legs to support you. And then tuck the chin and soften into that position. So we've gone long first, we've found space, and then we can curl and lift our heart up into our cat back again. Drawing the tummy in, see if you can find a little bit more space by doing that. And looking inwards. And noticing what's happening with the chattering monkeys. Have we quietened them a bit? Can you hear just you? Not always comfortable looking inwards. And that's why forward folds aren't always our best choice. But sometimes it's what we need. So come out of this after your third breath. Take your sit bones back, rolling back up from the bottom of your spine. Slowly come to the front to center. And then we inhale again, raise up, go downwards. So we're grounding and we're lifting. And then we're twisting on the exhale to look over our right knee. We're hinging as we exhale the next time over the right leg, moving the heart forward of the right knee. That's a sensation. Keep the chin tucked in the long back of neck. And then on your next exhale, start to soften and roll and release. Lifting up through the back of your body, allowing your shoulders to come forward, tucking your chin, tucking your tummy, finding that space in the left side body. And breathe. Take 2 or 3 breaths here in your own time, thinking of your back body as you breathe in. And soften a little bit more to look inwards on your exhale. And just notice if this makes you feel comfortable or if it's something that you don't really like. Okay, so we're sinking back into our sit bones to roll back up very gently from the sit bones upwards through the spine, up to the top, turn back to center and release. And we're coming off our block and releasing our legs now and coming over onto our knees. You might want a block for your head here. We're going to come down into child's pose. So hips are over onto heels, and then we're gently using our hands to support us as we come down into child's pose. Let's make this our forearms on the floor child's pose, so not completely extended. And forehead either to the brick, or if you can, rest it right down onto the floor, but do what your body wants this morning. And try and find that center point again between your eyes, that third eye position that we had earlier. Find it on the brick or on the floor. Just have a little wriggle through, a little massage of that area. Rock your head from side to side. And breathe. Breathe into the back of the body. Notice whether this makes you feel comfortable or you're not quite happy here this morning. It's not always the same in these positions. Sometimes we look outwards and put on a bit of a show for the world, and when we have to stop and look inwards like this, it can feel a bit uncomfortable. Other times, this is just what you need. Okay, so from here, we're coming up into down dog. So we're coming up into tabletop, first of all. Move forward so your shoulders are over your wrists and elbows. Your hands are facing forward. Tuck the toes, lift up through the legs. So we're taking the sit bones up towards that corner behind us. Lift, 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 pressing into the hands. Bent knees, heels off the floor, early days in down dog here. Reaching up through the sit bones though, as if somebody's got a hold of you by the hip hinges, those creases on the front, and they're lifting you up from that point. If I was in the room, that's what I'd do to adjust you here. So imagine I've come up behind you and grabbed those points of you, and I'm lifting you up higher through the hips, lengthening through the whole of the back of the body. So we've got a nice long front, long back, long side body here feeling. And then walk your feet forward towards your hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to keep your hands on the floor, and allow your thighs, your tummy just to rest down onto your thighs. Tuck your chin, allow the head just to hang forward. Use your hands as a little bit of extra support if you need to. Look down through between your legs. Look at the world from a different angle. That makes you feel a bit dizzy. Do shut your eyes. Just allow the shoulders to open and spread. This is a really tight forward fold we're in here, even with knees bent particularly. See how close your body is to your thighs. Gravity is taking its toll on us upside down, obviously. You might feel it quite strongly on the back of your lower back in this position. If you do, just lift up slightly, engage your tummy muscles, lift off. And then sink the sit bones back a bit more. And see how this feels hanging about in this for any length of time. Okay, so pop the hands then to the floor. Step back with your right foot. We're coming into low lunge. So untuck the back, drop the back knee rather, as far back as you can this morning. Really find a nice opening in that right hip flexor. But we're not going to go for upper body strength here. We're staying with our hands flat to the floor, and we're tucking our chin, and we're allowing ourselves to come into that cat back again. So lift the heart up the way. So lift the tummy up, lift the heart up. Come into your cat back in low lunge. And look backwards then towards your back leg. And see if you can slide that knee away just a little bit more and open up the front of the hip flexor. Still pressing into your front foot. It's probably moved back like mine, so draw your knee a little bit further forward so it's more over your ankle in the front foot. And feel that opening on the right hip and that compression on the left hip. And then allow the back body just to soften. See if you can get a bit more width across your shoulders. Bend the elbows, allow everything to sink. How does this feel? Does it feel satisfying or not? And then we're going to tuck the back toes and take the front leg backwards and come into child's pose, but extended this time. So keep the hands where they roughly are. Sink the sit bones back towards the heels. Really lengthen through the front body and back body. Arms are off the floor, hands are on the floor. And then you can take a brick under your head if you can reach a brick, or take your head down to the floor. Find that little point of intuition again, our third eye. Just have a little bit of a press or a roll through that area. Connect. And then take 3 breaths here. Finding that space this time in the armpits and through the upper back body, the back of the arms and your lower back as you sink back towards your heels. And the tummy is still rested on the thighs. So another tight forward fold. Okay, so then we're going to come forward again into tabletop. We're going to take our tailbone back, swing back and bring the right leg forward into a right low lunge. Same thing this side, so we know where we're going now. So hands on the floor, tuck the chin, roll up into cat back, allow the shoulders to roll forward and look back to the back leg. Watch it hasn't gone out to the side. You can now see what you do with your leg. So draw it in to make sure that it's the knees in line with your hip and you can't see your foot. And feel that nice big opening on the right and the left hip flexor and a bit of compression going on in the left hip, right hip flexor. Oops, teeth again this morning. So then see if you can just lift your heart up a little bit higher through the back of your body and allow your neck to soften a bit more. Allow the shoulders to round down. How's the mind now? Has things quietened or is something screaming at you? Find that inner voice that's telling you you can do it. You can do this. This is okay. Okay, so then take the front foot back again and come back into child's pose. Heels and hips meeting. Take the hands then one at a time. Well, you might want to put your head down first onto a brick or onto the floor and take your hands down by the side and clasp the soles of your feet if you can reach them. So take your hands and grab a hold of your heels or wherever you can catch at the bottom of your legs. It might be your trousers or your front of your ankle. And again, just find that spot between your eyes. A lot of pressure moving down there now because your hands have moved. The weight will be passing more through that point on your forehead. So you'll be much more aware of it. So there's a little bit of compression going on there, so that when we move, we'll flush through some new energy into that area. And maybe that'll stimulate all our thought processes today. Maybe we'll work more with intuition, that gut reaction. Okay, so we're coming out of this by popping the hands to the floor and just gently pressing to come up to kneeling. Take your time, take your eyes along the floor slowly. We've done quite a bit of inversions here. Then take the hands back when you're comfortable and feel adapted to where you are. Pop your hands back onto your heels or the soles of your feet again. Find your posture, draw your tummy in, lift up through your crown, lift your heart. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Lift again up through the crown. And then we're putting in a little bit of a back bend here. So we're moving the heart forward. You can press off your feet if you want to find a bit of rebound there. Lifting through the arms as well. As we move our heart up, tuck the chin. Don't let the throat open too much. It's quite a heavy weight, as I say, in the top of your shoulders. Notice what's happened to your shoulders. If they've come up to your ears, try and move your shoulders down and lift your heart up. And breathe, obviously. And then release back down onto your heels. Okay, so we're coming now onto our bottoms, and you'll need your 2 bricks here. So we're coming to wide-legged, seated forward fold. So if this is too strong for you this morning, do keep your legs bent on the floor. You'll still get a nice long stretch in the back bend, and you'll still get the sensation of the forward fold, which is the point this morning. It's not about overstretching things too early on. If you do sit like this, then you try and put your feet to the floor, so you're getting at least a nice big stretch also at the front of your ankles. If you want to open out and turn your dirty feet like mine, flex your feet, engage the legs, switch them on. Legs don't need to be too wide, wherever's comfortable for you. And then take your bricks and pop them in front of you. So where your head's roughly going to be, that's where we're forward folding towards. Okay, so now tummy in, lift up, sit bones down, switch the feet on, lift up through the crown. You can see in my brick how much height I'm gaining through my body by finding my posture. Squeeze that spot between your shoulder blades. Take the hands behind you first of all. Find those hip hinges. Lift up on an in-breath, and as you exhale, forward fold, long front body, just like we've been doing. We're not heading for the bricks yet. So you're moving your nose towards where you put the bricks probably, but long front body, fingers still behind you. Draw the tummy in to support the lower back. Bend the knees if you are feeling it a little bit too strong in your inner thighs. And then take the hands in front of you. And then we're going to bring the bricks in so that when we round forward now, might be at the wrong height, find the height you need. So we're going to softly tuck the chin, round forward, bring the brick in, and find that spot with your forehead again. So it's not a massive forward fold. We're not going right down to the floor here. We're just finding a bit of a back bend, a bit of a forward fold, a bit of a back opener. So your brick can be really high if that's more comfortable, that's fine. Just try and soften through the back body as you find the forward fold. Try and tuck the chin, tuck the tummy, lift up through the heart, soften the shoulders, let the hands be on the floor, let the arms be bent. Let them just hang off your shoulder girdle. I'll take my head away because you can't hear me. Find that point of intuition again on your brick if you can. That connection. Notice if you can sense what you feel there now. Is it lightness? Is it light? Is it energy? Is there some sensation? And what's happening in your mind? When the mind goes quiet and all those chattering monkeys stop, that's when you can find the voice of self. We all know that voice of self. It's the one that tells us we're doing something that we shouldn't quite often. We do think often it's our mother's voice in our head, but actually it's you telling yourself that you're not doing something appropriate usually, or that you should be doing something. And it's about learning to listen to that voice rather than the thoughts that are rushing around in your head. As you stay here, notice if we're starting to soften a little bit. Notice how much harder it is to forward fold in this position than it was when we were doing child's pose, for instance, or even standing up and doing a forward fold. Enjoy that space in the back of the body. See if you can just gently allow your nose to roll down a little bit more, lifting up through the heart. You might have to move your brick as you soften in this position. And just as we're here, just take a moment to see how this feels. It's not always easy, as I say, to look inwards. And even though these exercises are quite simple, they don't always satisfy us. We may walk away from this class this morning thinking, well, what did I do there? But it's not always about the movement in yoga. It's about using the movement. Okay, so we're going to come out of this now. So put your hands under your shoulders and just gently use them. Move into your sit bones. Start to roll up from the bottom of your spine. Take it gently. Move your eyes slowly. stacking vertebrae one by one until we come back up to the top. How does that feel, that different sensation of looking outwards? Maybe more comfortable for some of us. Okay, so we're just going to finish with a couple of breaths just to get us back into the world. Bring your legs back into a cross-legged position. I won't go deeply into the thought process of forward folding and looking for yourself and navel gazing, basically, which is why that word presumably came in, navel gazing, or that phrase rather. But it's something to think about as we go through this week. Okay, so we're just going to open up a little bit more with 3 breaths in and out, raising the arms up as we breathe in. Find that length through the fingertips. Try not to raise too much shoot through the shoulders, but draw your palms together. Open up under the armpits. Exhale, slowly take the arms back down. Keep the shoulders connected. 2 more. Inhale up. Lifting out of your pelvis, drawing the sit bones down, ribs up. Hands together. Exhale down. This time look up towards your hands as you come up. Tuck your chin, but still allow your eyes and look upwards. Might not quite can see your hands above you. And then exhale and release. Give your shoulders a bit of a wriggle through. Might feel you want a bit of a twist. Do whatever your body feels it needs, just to release anything you've tied up there. Okay, so we've come to the end of the practice. I was ready to do something else there, sorry. Okay, thank you everybody for this morning's practice. I hope you feel good after that. It's not always the best of practices. Forward folds are not my favourite, but it might be yours. It might be that we're different. So that's always good that we're all different. So thank you everybody, and enough of this chattering monkey. Have a great day and see you tomorrow or tonight at Nidra. That's better than Megan's interview, I think, probably for us. Thanks everybody and namaste.